Welcome to Beyond the Bottom Line, a podcast where we explore the real journeys behind leadership, purpose, and transformation across Africa. Today, I'm joined by two incredible women from the Moshal program, an organization transforming access to education for young people from disadvantaged backgrounds, both in South Africa and Israel. Nokuthula Zama is the country manager for South Africa. With over 16 years with youth development and a background in psychology and leadership, she's passionate about building not just students but future change makers. First of all, morning, ladies. You both look so nice. You look beautiful. Thank you for being with us. So, to get into the questions, right? Both of you play a different but compulsory role within the program. How do your responsibilities intersect, and how do you collaborate to deliver impact for South African youth within the program itself?
Right, so hi, my name is Nokuthula Zama and I'm the country manager for the Moshal program. Our mandate is really to effect intergenerational economic mobility through higher education. And so we fund students who come from underprivileged, who are very talented and wouldn't necessarily make it through university without our support. So my role within Moshal is to oversee the implementation of the program in South Africa, ranging from the full wraparound support, which encompasses academic, financial, wellness, as well as career support.
I'm Val Jansen. I'm a generalist, is how I see myself. Wherever we are needed, I interject myself, I assist with whatever is needed, and that's apart from my main function, which is the financial manager of the program.
Now, to go back to you, Nokuthula, I wanted to ask, here I am from an underprivileged community which falls under the criteria that you guys follow. How do I actually get in touch with you? I mean, we're all from different backgrounds where maybe internet is not of access. How do I get through to you and you guys actually help people who need the services?
All right. So we currently do that through a number of opportunities. The first being encouraging our scholars and alumni to go back to their communities, to spread the word, encourage those sitting at home to apply, and also disseminate information around how they can further their studies. Secondly, we work with the different stakeholders in the National System of Innovation who really play a huge role in going into communities, specifically in the rural and remote areas. And we also work through them to send out that information. If people are trying to get hold of us, they certainly can link to us via our Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok pages. And if you do not have internet access, you can email us at selection@moshalscholarship.org.
Thank you so much. Now, a question that I have, especially being in a leadership position, I'd like to think that it's hard for you to make certain decisions behind doors. I mean, you're working with a lot of people, and maybe someone does not fit certain criterias, or something happens within your positions where you have to make the hard decisions, whether someone does not get through the help because of certain things that are holding them back, or I don't know what to call it, but yeah, around that discussion. So what are the tough decisions that you have to make when it comes to that specific aspect?
Look, letting go of people is always a difficult thing to do. And I think with any manager, you really want to ensure that you've given an individual all the support and all of the chances before that decision is reached. Some of the other tough decisions just around the direction of the organization, and especially where change is involved. I think we've grown as a program in the last couple of years, and of course have taken a different direction here and there. And sometimes to work with a team that has become accustomed to a certain way of doing things can be a bit challenging as well. So it's important to bring people on board with you to manage that change and ensure that everyone is still as committed to their role and their jobs as far as possible. Anything to add?
So what we also have in Moshal is people who are not in the program approaching us for funding. And these can be recommended by some of the universities to approach us, or they hear from other students. And they might be final year and they've got student debt and they really just need extra support. Unfortunately not. Yeah, it's very difficult.
It's very difficult, I like to think, yeah. So now I want to talk about specifically to you, Val, since you said you're afraid of everything. When it goes to measuring your impact, it's easy for people to default to numbers in terms of these are the number of people we've touched and this is what we've done. But beyond the stats themselves, what is the most meaningful indicators you look for within the program that are on a human level that you are actually making the impact with the program itself?
For me, it's connection. That people feel connected throughout their journey with us. And we see that especially with alumni who's been with us all the time. And when they leave, they're still with us and they want to be with us. And we just are a family on our own. It's wonderful. It's very, very special.
Yeah. I'd like to think it very is, yeah, no. So, and with the cross-cultural collaboration, the program operates in both South Africa and Israel, which are two different contexts. How do the global insights and experiences shape your local strategy here in South Africa?
Look, it's the same program, but there's obviously nuances because the countries are different. Even the cohort of students that we fund is different. But I think what's important and what we try to keep the same is the standard, the quality, as well as the level of support that our students enjoy. I think even though we are different, just in terms of the objective of the program, making sure that we fund students who come from underprivileged, it's the same regardless of the country. Of course, there'll be nuances here and there just in terms of how well and how close we are to the students given the age difference. In Israel, the cohort is generally, they start studying in around 23, 24. And for us in South Africa, that's generally the age when you are completing your degree. Yeah. So even the transition to university, for example. But just talking about the level of support, it is the same. They also provide academic, financial, psychosocial, as well as career support, because for us ultimately success is not about them getting through their degrees, but it's about them getting to a well-paying job within 3 months of graduating.
I think that touched on the impact you guys are trying to make. Yes. So now, as the youth, we are more of a people who want to know what's going to happen in the future and what's ahead. Now, I want to know what's your shared vision for the future of the Moshal program. If time, resources, and red tapes are all not a limitation, what's one big shift each of you would like to see, let's say, within the next 2 years?
Scaling up. Scaling up is really just the focus, making sure that we fund as many as possible. I mean, I think even if you look at the general stats in South Africa, there's about 45% youth unemployment, 10% of those that are graduates. But if you look in the program, we're sitting on about 95, 97% placement rate. So if we're able to achieve that at a much grander and bigger scale, I think would have made our impact.
And on your side, Val?
It's absolute the same, scaling. And if I had one more wish to make, it's that we could ensure that students at school are more STEM focused so that we can help them in our program.
Yeah, STEM is very important. Now, as we wrap up the interview, I have a question for both of you, where I want to know what you both lead in different but impactful ways, and for young people who are out there listening and aspiring leaders, whether in education and, as you said, especially in STEM, which is an industry that's everyone's been maybe not looking at the most. What advice would you offer about building a purposeful, driven career? Where do they go? Where do you look where you want to be in these areas, in terms of career and studies going forward?
Look, there's a number of opportunities that are available to the students. I know we don't treat life orientation with the importance that it should receive, but I think that's a great opportunity for them to start engaging directly with their teachers. Additionally, there's a number of organizations that are really making meaningful impact just around educating the students, making sure that they are aware of the opportunities that they have as well. So if those organizations come around, whether it's in the community centers, whether it's in the community halls, make sure that you go into that space, into those venues with really clear questions. A lot of times students come and they want freebies, and granted, they're gonna get them, but I think it is important they take up the spaces that are available to them and they ask those questions. Number 3, there's a lot of science centers around the country, a lot of them not as well visited as they could be. So if they can also just find out whether there are any in their communities, and if so, how do they access them? Because there's information that's readily available to them. There's scientists, engineers, and technologists that are actually sitting in those centers to advise and speak to the students about the prospects and the different opportunities and options they have in terms of studies.
And your side, Val?
For me, I'd say do what you can with the tech that's available. I know data is an issue, but there are ways, libraries, opportunities that you can go, NGOs, there are that you can try and do at your school, and just use tech to research, to understand, and then after tech comes AI. Like, use AI in your daily life to help you, to help your family, to just understand things. Because this is a generation, the youngsters, it comes naturally.
Yeah.
So I'm an AI fan.
Yeah. I mean, AI is the future, and I think that's what we are building here. Yes. So on my side, I think that's a wrap for the interview. Thank you so much for coming through. As I said, I will keep it very short. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for the impact you guys are making out there. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
Great. Thank you for the opportunity as well. I appreciate it.
That brings us to the end of our conversation today. A huge thank you to Nokuthula and Val for giving us a passionate, insightful, and powerful insights of the work they do within the Moshal program. If you're listening and feel inspired, remember that change starts with access, and access starts with you. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Keep on growing. See you next time on the next episode of Beyond the Bottom Line. Thank you.